I'm your host, Too Sycho.
And I'm Two Vicious.
Here we are at ShowTales and Hotels.
Shows and holes, baby.
We apologize to the viewers. There will be excessive use of profanity in this podcast. I wanted to speak a little bit about the GoFundMe we started for our new wrestling promotion.
TWO,
the World Order. The fundraiser is more so for the fans to get involved, to feel like they have a part, to be part of the family, to say, hey, I built that. This is a long time fundraiser we're running. If it goes over the goal, then we'll put that into production. Everything that's left is going to go to the animal shelter. This is, like I said, the goal. We want to hit it, but at the same time, it's not mandatory, because we got
some good sponsors.
We got some good sponsors. We got good deal. We got some good deals. We got getting a nice ring, nice trailer, nice show truck. Everything's going to be wrapped, decaled, vinyled out. Plenty of room left for sponsorship. If we have any of the local Crittenden County business owners watching this, remember, especially not even just Crittenden County, but the tri-state area in general. If you there's a backer program behind the GoFundMe. You got the $25 backer. You get your name on a banner. We're going to hang on the wall and carry everywhere with us for the Founders Club. Then the $50. If you donate $50 or more, now you get an exclusive one-off black shirt with a white silhouette of you-know-who, power bombing, you-know-who. That shirt is going to be one time only, never sold again. The only way to get it is to donate $50 to that. I believe it comes with some other perks as well. I don't have them off the top of my head. But then you got the next perks. I believe $100. You have to look this up. It's pinned to the top of my Facebook right now. But all the way up to what I was getting at, if you do have a business, small or large, and you're in the area, if you just want to help out, or if you want your name on the side of the ring, we're going to have the apron going around the ring all the way. Plenty of real estate. We're going to put the logos as big as we can on there. So if you have a small business, you do that $500 donation. It's going to get you yearly VIP tickets. It's going to get you the shirts. It's going to get you as many shirts as it gets you tickets. It's going to get you your name on the ring for life and on the trailer. So this isn't a sponsorship where you got to re-up $500 every other week. This is a thing where you're going to be on there permanently. When we redo graphics, we might reach out to you about kicking something up, but that's not mandatory. If you don't, you might just get a smaller sticker the next year. But either way, plenty of room. It's going to be a big ring, 18 by 18.
18 by 18.
So that's what 36, 76, I believe. It's a lot of foot of canvas there that's going to be going around the ring. It's going to be a taller ring too. So plenty of stuff for that. We're going to have banners we travel with. But I just wanted to speak on that GoFundMe for just a minute and tell you guys that this is more for the community than it is for us. We want you to be involved. We want you to bring your kids up there. We want the kids to play in the ring. We want to host training sessions where the kids can come train, instead of doing whatever else they might do when they get out of school. Right. They can come up to a wholesome place and enjoy some real training and at-home entertainment, pretty much.
What else?
We're going to move on to the first subject here. That's going to be me grilling Stumpy. And he's going to grill me afterwards. Not grilling, but just kind of little quick questions here, long answers. And the quick question would be, Stumpy, Two Vicious. Two Vicious. What would be your most stressful show memory? When I say most stressful, I don't mean like you were nervous, large crowd, maybe first time, biggest show, maybe the one that really just kind of, maybe your starter. I don't know.
That's a tough one. Well, my first time I was nervous. Me and your dad went down to Osceola.
Yeah, Osceola. Big Daddy LaFonce.
Big Daddy LaFonce. We went down there. And I kept asking questions. What are we going to do? And he's like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it all night. till we get there, and then we're fixing to go out. I'm like, what are we doing? Don't worry about it. Wouldn't smart me up, tell me anything.
Yeah. I kind of.
So I was nervous.
Same thing there.
Same thing happened to you. So that was good. Everything worked out. I mean, we had a good show. And then the time we got us booked in Atlanta, I was real nervous. That's a big show.
Yeah.
Where I first met Scott Hall.
Okay.
Me and Ronald went down there to wrestle. Actually, Rodney Mack. And your dad was wrestling Scott Hall main event. So
okay.
That was a pretty good show there. Nervous, but good card. A lot of good
card. A lot of good things.
Yeah. That was fun times. I'll tell you some stories.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds pretty stressful.
Yeah, it was.
What made it
Scott and Sid.
Yeah, here we go.
You know, Scott and Sid. Well, I'll tell you a quick story. We was eating lunch, and it was your dad and Scott and me and Ronald. We was eating lunch, and Scott's like, Stumpy, you want a beer? I said, yeah, man, let's drink a Coors Light. He said, all right. So we get a beer, and then your dad's looking at me like, you know how he looks at you.
Yeah, he gives you that death stare.
He gives me that death stare, and then Scott gets up, I think, go to the bathroom. He's like, hey, don't drink no more tonight.
Yeah.
Don't drink. I got to wrestle him tonight. I'm like, oh, okay. So
he's already going to get blown up.
Right. So we're, Scott goes to the bathroom and comes back. You know, we sit down. He's like, hey, another beer, Stomp? I'm like, hell yeah, let's get another one.
Right.
So about that time, he's kicking me under the table, just looking, giving me that death stare. But it was a good time. We had a good time. Show went well.
Well, did Scott throw up on him?
Scott didn't throw up on him.
Well, that's good. See,
you probably got stories of that.
The night was saved.
Yeah,
you know,
so it was
as I would say.
Good time in Atlanta. It was a good time.
All right, so that's the end of your most stressful story. I mean,
I don't know. I can't.
You know, I mean, the first time stressful. You're going out there, there's big lights. You got everybody looking at you. You know, even if they're not looking at you, it feels like they are.
Right.
You know, everybody's either booing you or cheering you. You don't know what kind of reaction you're going to get. And it's always a nervous thing doing any kind of live event.
Right.
Whether you've done it a million times or it's your first time.
Right.
So.
I always get.
Yeah. All right. So that's a wrap on that. That's it on that.
Well, you tell me something.
Okay. So my same thing, most stressful show, I think I was 15, maybe about to turn 16. I'd really have to get a calendar and Facebook all involved to figure that out. And I came home from school one day, and my dad said, here, try this on. He threw some overalls and some old work boots, like white and blue flannel long sleeve shirt. He said,
I remember.
He said, try that on. I said, all right. I said, we going farming? And I said, we're about to hop on the John Deere and take off. He said, no, here, try this on too. And he handed me a hockey mask. And I wish I knew now how much power that hockey mask really had.
Oh, yeah.
But I put the hockey mask on, and he goes, good. I'm glad it fits. We're going wrestling in Osceola, Arkansas tonight. Pretty much the same place, that same place, and he goes, I said, okay, I was nervous. I didn't really have a whole lot of words. I said, whoa, what are we going to do? And he says, don't worry, son, it's easy. We'll talk about it when we get there. I said, okay, all right. So I'm on my flip phone at the time on YouTube, trying to figure out how to be a wrestler. And it's, a couple hours later, we're in Osceola, about an hour and a half before bell, before doors. And we're sitting backstage with all the naked old fat men. And I said, so, well, what are we going to do? Are you ready to teach me? You ready to train me? Are you going to show me something? What are we going to do? He says, don't worry. We'll call it in the ring. I said, call what in the ring? At that time, I think I knew the name of 3 wrestling moves, a body slam, a choke slam, and a power bomb. And I only knew 2 of those because they were his.
Yeah.
So we got out there, and it was, as clumsy as it could be for a 15-year-old with his first match, wrestling against his dad. We tested strength, bear hug, cobra clutch, small stuff like that. I was able to pull it off. Extremely nervous, sweating bullets nonetheless. And that is my most stressful show. It was my first one. I want to say the next 10 to follow were pretty much exactly the same thing. I still didn't have any inside knowledge or training.
But hey, he got you through it.
He did get me through it. He drugged me through it by my hair across the ground. through the gravel and the blood and the mud. But so we're getting on to the next thing here. It's going to be your most enjoyable show or match, meaning it could be the match that you had the most fun in, or it could just be that in the Toyota Camry on the way to the show, the funnest, the most enjoyable time. And when I say enjoyable, I don't really mean funniest. I mean the most wholesome, enjoyable time. Because the funniest is coming up.
Funnest show. I'm trying to think. That's I'm thinking. They were all fun. I mean, they had a good time. I'm trying to think.
They were all fun.
I like the benefit shows the best.
Yeah.
They're, you can kind of do what you want, non-script. Just have good times. We used to go to Luxor, and then what's the other place out there?
Osceola.
I think it wrestled you and Scott Hall there one time. Where were we at?
We did Jonesboro a lot.
Jonesboro a lot. We went to Luxor, and then there's another place out there past Osceola. I can't remember, but they were benefit shows. But they drew like 500-600 people. It was a good show.
Yeah,
fun shows.
And that's a big thing about fun shows and 500 or 600 people. If you can put 500 people in a room that's made for 300, that's a better show than any sold out WWE house could ever dream of. You can't beat that energy in a small room oversold.
But all the benefit shows. Yeah,
I enjoyed all the benefit shows.
Yeah, I liked all those. I can't think of my favorite one just off, but it was good times.
Good times.
What about yours?
I've been debating on this all day, and I wasn't really quite sure. I was going to go with the gathering of the Juggalos, 60,000 people in attendance. I was going to go with a 3-show deal we did Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and kind of put all that together. But after you said benefit show, it really clicked with me. And I'd have to say my most enjoyable match and show I ever had was my second or third match. It was at the VFW in West Memphis, Arkansas, and I wrestled Don Bass, the legendary, great late Don Bass. And Don said, "I'm going to color, but I'm not going to gig." I was learning a couple terms by then, so I knew what he meant was he meant he was going to bleed, but he wasn't going to cut himself.
Right.
I said, "Well, how are we doing it then?" He said, "You headbutt me." I said, "Well, what if you don't bleed?" He said, "You keep on headbutting me."
Keep on.
So I think I headbutted him 60 times before I got one drop of blood out of him. Then he started headbutting me back harder so he could get some out. He was sitting there in the ring. He said, "Do it again, do it again, do it again." And I probably took a couple years off his life. He might still be with us if I wouldn't have headbutted him with that fiberglass hockey mask 150 times that night. But that was a benefit show.
That was a good show. Had a good time.
I think that was the benefit for somebody. I can't remember what the benefit was for, but it was there at the VFW in West Memphis. I think it was for him.
Well, no, it was for his manager guy, Honest John.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember that? He had a great turnout.
Those West Memphis shows always are
a
little different. West Memphis always shows up and shows out for sure. And we're counting on you to show up and show out in the end of August. We were talking about doing Fridays, but after rediscussing, we're thinking it'd probably be better to hold the annual memorial on Saturdays, the closest Saturday to his passing every year. So it's always going to be a Saturday at the end of August. And then we're currently working on getting another show to follow maybe a month later and another one 2 months after that. We want to do
You might even try to do a big outdoor show too.
Yeah, a big outdoor show. We want to try to really take the TWO promotion and run, 6 or 12 shows a year. I don't really want to say one a month. One a week is way too many. You never get
one
that.
Every few months.
I think if you had a consecutive one, like for the hot time of the summer, if you did one a month through that part, that'd be fine, and then take a month off for August or September or whatever. And obviously not August. We have the memorial show, so I almost tried to cut out the memorial show that quick. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not going to cut you out. Memorial show staying. It's going to be a big deal. It's going to be huge. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. So we're going to go on and move on to the next subject, which is what is your hands down, split your sides laughing, funniest story you had. And if it before you start speaking, I want you to say, if it is too bad, try to refrain from using their names and let's just describe the person. Drunk, fat, hairy, whatever,
Yeah. I don't know.
But if it's not that bad, let's go ahead and put their names out there. Funniest story.
Funny story. Shoot. So you already knew these questions. I didn't know them, so I don't know.
Well, I kind of told you what we were going to ask. You just didn't pay attention.
I don't think a lot.
I told them to think about these things. I gave them time. I said, we're doing this interview live Friday. You need to have this stuff.
I don't think a lot. So most funniest.
If funniest, like what would make the people behind that green light laugh?
I don't know. I got to think about it.
All right, so I'll go with mine, and you think on yours while I'm talking. But I'm going to need you to still listen to my story. I'm going to need a little reaction. And I cannot recall all the wrestlers that were in the limo, but it was a limo. Let's rewind it a little bit. We're up in Evansville. We do a show at the Armory or something that night. Me, my dad, Scott, and myself, and then we go on to Marriott in Evansville, where we're staying to do the show for Insane Clown Posse at the Juggalo Gathering in Hog Rock, Illinois. I believe this was 2010, 2011. And some of the people that were on the car that I can definitely remember would be Booker T, Butterbean, Kamala, Viscera, Diamond Dallas Page, Sabu. There was Terry Funk. I don't know if I said Kamala. If I already said Kamala Harris again, I'll put him over twice. He deserves it. But
well, Big Daddy V.
Big Daddy V, yeah. So Big Daddy V, they say he's 6'9". I'm 6'9". I swear he's a foot taller than me. But I mean, that's just how big he looked, is how broad he was. I mean, obviously you're really overweight guy, but I mean, his shoulders were that wide. I mean, no lie. Same thing with Butterbean. His hand, I mean, was every inch of every bit of 3 inches thick. I remember I went to go shake his hand, like grabbing a lunch pail. I said, man, if that guy ever hit me upside the head with that, I'd be dead. And he could probably still pull it off today after his his DDP yoga. He's Butterbean. You've seen that? He's made a recovery on that. He was in a wheelchair and he's made it back to walking. He's lost a lot of weight. Butterbean, you're really looking good. I hope you see this. But anyway, on to the story. We got Gangrel and sorry, David. And we have rest his soul, Brian Christopher. Right. And Brian and Gangrel, they were drinking before we ever left the hotel. And let me keep this in mind. Our wrestling match that night starts at like 2 a.m. It's flashlight wrestling. They turn off all the lights and they shine flashlights at the ring. Like, that's the part that we're on. The pre-show was with my dad and Scott, and they had already been there and left. But we're supposed to have vans. The vans don't show up, so they get us Escalade limos. Pretty cool. Pretty pimping. So we ride to the show in the limo. We stop at the gas station. Brian and Gangrel, they're getting beer. They're getting drunk. And, I'm not going to go all the way into details. Save you that. But I'm sitting all the way up at the very front of the limo. Anyway, show's great. Great show. We leave there when the sun's coming up. It's like 7 o'clock in the morning. We've been there since 4 o'clock the afternoon the day before. So everybody's extremely tired. There's 15, 20 fucking people in this limo. It is packed with big, heavy, sweaty wrestlers who have all been working all night, who are all on edge. They're all angry. They're all strung out. Half of them are drunk, and one of them was a little too drunk. So we're on our way back. It's foggy outside. We're on the highway, 4-lane highway. And I'm sitting all the way at the very front of the limo with my back to the driver. And I got Gangrel on my right, and my bag boy landed on the left. And Gangrel, he's sitting there and he's gagging. And he'd throw up in his mouth a little bit and choke it and swallow it back down. He'd throw up in his mouth a little bit and choke it and swallow it back down. And like the third or fourth time he did that, he threw up in his mouth a little bit and it just kept getting bigger. He goes to put his hand over his face. And when he does, he spits it out, and it shot a jet stream out of the end of his hand straight into my bag boy Landon's face. And went out in between all of his knuckles like a fucking sprinkler and got all the boys in the limo. Oh, no. So, as I mentioned, we got big people in here. We're doing 70 miles an hour down the highway in the fog, slick conditions. All those people started moving in the limo. The limo loses control. We go off the road in the grass. the doors open out, all the boys powder out. They're all gagging. They're all cussing at him. You know, poor Gangrel, he's so drunk he doesn't know what happened. I mean, when you put someone that's drinking in that situation, we're out that long, you're asking for a bad disaster. But
right.
I want to throw this part in there. Sorry, a little embarrassing. I didn't want to move. I didn't have any throw up on me, so I'm just kind of like up in my seat. You know, I'm hiding up in the front. I don't want to go through and throw up. I got my hand over my nose. That was good enough for me. But he pulled out that 6-pack he had on the way there in a black plastic bag, empty beer bottles. He finished throwing up in that bag and then balled it up, shoved it under the limo seat when we got out. But that is my funniest. I mean, I probably have some that are funnier, but that's my wildest story right there. And it was funny, and I will never forget that. I was probably the only sober one in the limo because I was underage. I might have been partying some that night, but there was this girl backstage who was like, I don't remember what she was. She was like 7'1", tall, way bigger than me. I mean, you know, I say that you think, you know, wow, this girl's a monster. No, she's proportionate. She's a really good looking girl. And she was kind of coming on to me a little bit, and I was scared. So I spent most of my night hiding from her. So I didn't have time to party. Otherwise, I probably just suck a few in. I might have thrown up on everybody as well. But let me see.
Right, good time.
Bring it up here. Let's see what our next subject is. Next subject, we're going to talk a little bit on our fitness journey. Stumpy's tagging into the gym. He's real busy. He owns his own restaurant. So when he's not lifting weights, he's lifting those pork shoulders and throwing them on the grill, those briskets. Right. You know, those things aren't light. But he is. But
we've been getting up early. I've been trying to
every day, 5:45. Every day is available. He comes with me. We've been going hard. I've been hitting it 7 days a week. Stumpy's making gains. He's getting back in there. He's about to get a membership here local. He's going to start going more often because it'll be easier. I told him my greatest advice in life for someone who doesn't have time for fitness is to sleep faster.
Sleep faster.
Sleep faster.
You got to do. So you got enough time. You got to sleep faster.
Exactly.
So, we're going to start trying that, right?
Exactly. You know, I don't have a whole lot to show. I'll give you guys a little bit. I'm coming off a 34-day calorie deficit now. I'm going to enjoy the holidays, and I'm going to have that turkey dressing and the canned yams and candied yams and the pies and the cakes. I'm going to go ahead and have all that for Thanksgiving and Christmas. I'm not going to do the leftovers, though, I promise. Just the day of. And then I'm going to go back to taking in as many calories as I'm burning or a little bit more, and I'm going to go bulk for the next probably 2 or 3 months. Then I'm going to go back on a cut. I plan on being 300 pounds and pretty much lean the day of the event. And a lot of people don't believe that, but they don't understand how quick I can change. You know, they see all these people, all these actors in Hollywood. They think they're the only ones that can do it. But the actors in Hollywood don't try half as hard as we do.
That's right.
We're going to be in the best shape of our lives when we step in that ring. It's going to be a big show. It's going to be electric. It's going to be huge. It has no choice but to be. You know, we're going to, you know, plan on being the most wholesome production in the Mid-South. See that I didn't say biggest.
Not right.
Because a lot of people mess up with the biggest. I want to keep small, family, love. And then for the big part, we'll just worry about the world stage on the camera.
That's right.
You know, for us in wrestling, we want it for our people. We have a huge following ourselves, and it's we want our people to be there. We want our family to be there. We want to do it for our kids so they could have something to take care of. You know, something to keep them busy. There's all kind of motives behind this. I've been heavily influenced in my fitness journey by my boss out in Vegas, Suge White. You work for him or you work for nobody. Suge White, I'm telling you right now. Suge White will more than likely be making an appearance as a special guest manager maybe that night. He really is electric, big guy, full of energy. But, you know, he's from New Jersey. So when I say he's from New Jersey, you think, oh, he's a northerner. Well, I mean, by he's from New Jersey, he's kind of a dick.
Right.
And, you know, and with somebody like me, that's what it takes, is to push my buttons. You know, to call me fat, to say, you know what you could do. You know, he really, he did it out of love, but he motivated me so hard to where I'm not going to give up. And then, you know, and as soon as I started trying and I go home and I get my son, and my son is just, you're going to be a wrestler. You're going to wrestle. I can't wait. I can't wait. So now I have even more to do it for him. You know, a lot of people are, you know, been saying, why haven't they put your dad in the Hall of Fame? Mostly because they're fucking stupid. But anyway, and that's because for a long time they wanted him to be they wanted him to sign the Legends deal. They wanted him to do the Hall of Fame, and he wouldn't do it because he said that meant you were old and washed up and you had more in the tank. He wanted an offer to come back and work a show or two a year, and they didn't give that to him.
Right.
That's what he wanted, and he had, 15 years after he broke his leg, he could have done that.
Yeah.
And then on further to it is when he's recently, you see that he said he wanted to go into the Hall of Fame. I would say his main drive behind that was his grandson, my son Raylan, because he wanted to take Raylan out there and show him all that stuff, which, I'm happy. I work out there in Vegas. I'm always on these huge production sites. I get to fly him out once a year. I take him to these huge shows and show him all, millions of dollars in production, just cool stuff like that. He gets to go backstage, push buttons, change the cameras. He likes doing all that stuff. But it's but that's a little bit on my motivation. And Stumpy's motivation is that I won't let him quit. I called him out. I think I said, hey, Stumpy, you want to do a wrestling show at the end of the year? And he's like, I don't know. I was like, all right, I just posted this on Facebook. We're doing 12 of them.
Yeah. Everybody's calling me. I'm like, I don't know anything about it.
But yeah,
we're going to get in shape and we're going to do it one more time.
And, okay, so I'll do a little quick plug here. As you notice, this podcast, we didn't take any question and answers from the audience. But what we would like you to do is to comment your questions in the comment section. If you have questions for next week's podcast, because we're going to do an episode every week, and we will answer those questions. We'll answer them honestly and fully. Ish.
Right, yeah.
Ish. But I would like to have, say 5 or 10 viewer questions that we could go over and answer next week, so we could put a little more length on the episode. And as well as the last bit right here, and then we're going to wrap it up, is going to tease the memorial show a little bit. And the only way I just want to keep it short, and what I'm going to say is that we're not going to be the main event.
No, we're not going to main event.
We have a star coming in who's going in the main event for his in-ring debut.
Right.
And it is going to be huge.
Right.
This guy is talent. That is for sure. We've been searching for people everywhere, and we found this one under a rock. But,
yeah. But
it's going to be a great show.
Yeah, he's going to be big.
It's going to be a great show. And that way, Stumpy and I might be able to step out and accommodate be the commentators on the main event, and we can take that opportunity to take pictures with the crowd, kiss the women, sign the babies, all that great stuff. Don't tell our wives. To the editors, could you block our wives from this stream? That would be highly appreciated. I don't think they should view this.
Nah, they probably don't care. Maybe.
I don't know how long we've gone, but I feel like we've touched about enough for this first episode.
Right.
Is there anything you want to say?
Man.
Besides, come down to Stumpy's Backyard Barbecue in Marion, Arkansas.
Barbecue in Marion.
I keep telling him to plug his food. He's like, I got too many customers. That's how good that's what he says. That's how good his fucking food is. He's got too many customers. He didn't want anymore. Come down to Stumpy's Backyard Barbecue. Get this man 5 years closer to retirement.
5 years closer.
5 years closer. And when I mean 5 years closer, I don't mean financially 5 years closer. I mean 5 years closer to dead.
Yeah.
But
we got big things we're working on. I mean, we got 6 or 8 months.
We got a little over. We got 270 days, I believe.
270 days to get in shape, build this thing up.
We're working. We got the ring, and the ring's already in motion. Got the trailer on the way. We already got people making shirts. We got people doing the vinyl. We got all kind of stuff's happening already. It's blowing up. We have an outstanding community who's really stepped up and helped a lot with all these things. And we've only announced this just a couple days ago. And it's crazy how much.
Now we're still looking for a couple of venues, right?
We are still looking for a couple of venues. If you're in the Crittenden County or Mid-South area, we really don't want to do it in Memphis. We want to do it on our side of the river.
We want to stay over here.
But if you have a venue that could seat preferably 400 or 500 people, that we could put 50 more than is occupied for, don't tell the fire marshal. If you know the fire marshal, we'll pay him off.
And then possibly even an outdoor show, maybe.
And possibly, outdoor show. I know they've done wrestling out there at Esperanza before. You know,
Right,
I would
yeah.
entertain taking the ring
We've
out there
done
and
that,
doing
yeah,
a show.
before, yeah.
There's anything's possible. You know, we're going to be available for anything. You know, if you are a promoter yourself and you don't, and you're out of business and you don't have a ring and you want anything, you want us to come into your town and do a show, we'll bring our
Yeah,
promotion and we'll screw you over real bad with a real small cut.
Yeah.
And we'll put you over.
Take care of it.
You know, we won't put you over financially, but we'll put you over.
Right.
But I think that's it for this podcast. I got 2 Sycho.
2 Vicious.
We'll see you next time.
TWO out.